Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Alva here, your mindset energy coach, and I have the pleasure today to interview, and this is the first interview with Alexander Perez and Sitzel Ben Sam, right?
Seman.
Seman.
Say.
It's okay, Benjamin.
Ben Seman. And together they have created Lumizone. They are just two angels walking on this earth. And to me, they're very courageous and brave because they actually are living their dream life. They're living from their hearts. And I have known them both for a couple years. And I'm just really grateful to have you both here. And you're going to share with us the release of your latest new baby, Who We Are, which is an amazing song. And I would love it if you can let us know what inspired you both to create Who We Are and anything else that you want to share about this beautiful song. It's so deep. And especially right now with what's happening in the world, I feel this song is so healing for everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having us,
Yes,
of course.
thank you so much.
This is, as we were sharing earlier, our first official interview. And yeah, we're honored and blessed to be here and with you. And
Thank you for inviting us
yeah.
to this space and holding space for everything you do, first of all, and for
And your continued support,
Yes.
throughout all these
you've been
times.
this beautiful voice for love and light, and every
Mhm.
time reminding. So that's very enriching, and very much in gratitude for that.
We
Always.
receive it all.
Yeah.
We're all reflections of each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who we are. Let's just dive right into it.
Let's
Our
dive
new musical baby that just was released yesterday, Friday, January 15th.
mhm.
And coincidentally, that's exactly 2 years to the date that
We met.
that we met.
So
Yeah.
And
for the
Which
soul,
is
right?
crazy. Yeah. We were like, wow, but we were like, we didn't plan this.
no, nothing is
You know what I'm
planned.
saying, right? I feel as though you both live so divinely aligned, so divinely connected. You know, we all go to yoga class, we do Buddhism, all these meditative practices, spiritual practices to literally live the way you both live, which to me, I've been watching you both and together, and how if all the world could live like this, what magical creations could come. And the Who We Are song, what inspired you both to like
Thank you.
That's a very beautiful words, and
Thank
we
you.
can talk more about that.
Yeah. So feel free, because I can riff on stories. I'm good storyteller.
Just a story riff.
So to not get too technical, but also share a little bit, just briefly, the song, when it first initially was born, we had no idea that it was going to be about what it is now. The melody and the initial fetus of that of that song, if you will, or insemination of it, came through at a gig. We were doing a gig, and that we were hired for, and she was playing one of her other original songs of hers from before. But it was kind of like a jam, like a musical improv jam. And she was kind of playing that, and I started riffing on some stuff and whatever, and it sounded cool. So I did what we usually do, which I hit record on my phone, because we like capturing these ideas so that we can revisit it later. And God, that was early 2020, even before the pandemic started and everything, just before. And anyhow, so months passed, and we kind of knew in the back of our minds that was there, and she really loved it. And she a few times throughout those months voiced it and mentioned it about let's revisit that one specifically. You know, we had several ideas, and that was one of the ones that was really calling. And I vibed with it too, but she kept really like being the voice for it. So last summer, and midsummer or whatever, July maybe, we revisited the song, and it was, the idea of the hook was there, right? And then we were like refining it, and then Sissel started riffing some ideas for the verses, which ended up being the melody for it. And then at this point, it still does not have the lyrical content or the message or what it,
Yeah, we didn't know.
We didn't know, obviously. God, source, the universe knew what was trying to come through. we were just allowing it and flowing with it. And then, you know, I just want to say, we're not highly political, if political at all, and we're not getting into that. But I don't want to ignore the elephant in the room either. And these are, you know, wild times, not, of course, not just politically with the pandemic, with everything that's going on. And, you know, just life in general sometimes can be so heavy for us, regardless of all these things. Everything could be like rainbow and butterflies, and we still have our personal traumas and our stories and our conditioning and yada, yada, yada. So you pile all this stuff on top of you know, of us, and these wild happenings and occurrences, you know, take place. And so I'm sharing this because in that moment is when it started coming through the initial lyric of the first verse, that we are not black or white, red or blue. And it was inspired by what's going on. But if anyone listens to the song and listens closely, it has nothing to do with taking sides or
left or right, up or down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's right or wrong, or because it's really about, and it was clear from the beginning, you know, it's not about pointing to again what's right or wrong, who's right or wrong, about the arguing and the fighting, or you know, holding the flag up, you know, relentlessly but it's about what's deeper than all of this and what's always here available for us, no matter what the storyline is saying or showing up, or how it exactly. And
Yeah.
and it's that thread that unifies us all, no matter what our crazy mind might be telling us in the moment, or story or beliefs can be so. And so that was the intention of it. And typically, I just want to finish up and then you can share, but what we were talking about earlier, typically we wouldn't write a song or say that we are not this and we are not that, because at least in my belief and personal experience, we are all of it. We are the love, we are the source, we are the divine. God encompasses all of it, the whole spectrum, the entire field, if you will. And so, but it came through like this, you know, just to speak to the relative story of things, of pointing to what's deeper than all of these things, because we can identify with each of those things, and there's nothing wrong with it. I feel, as long as we're not being like too extreme about it, you know, about our beliefs, and there's nothing wrong with right, like our favorite ice cream, our favorite color, our favorite type, you know, people we may or may not be attracted to, whatever that may be. But again, just pointing to what's deeper than all those stories, while those stories are even playing out and existing. What's under, what's here all the time. I love that old analogy of the sky and the clouds and the storms moving through it. We are the sky. We are not the clouds. The hurricanes can pass through, you know, like storms, lightning, thunder, all this stuff. But what is ever, you know, present, unchanging, it's the sky. It's the canvas that and I'll be quiet now, lady.
No, it's okay.
Let you share a little bit.
Yes, I think and in the process, I think, of writing, just to finish a little bit that, because I think this creative process is a beautiful, even like you could say, like a way of living life, even, like, because there's a huge surrendering. Like when you write songs, you have to create a space for the download to come through. And if I have too much resistance and too much like thoughts about every time maybe I have an idea, if I'm like, no, I don't like that little one, I have to make like a beautiful, you know, nurturers, or like soil that the small like sprouts can kind of like give them space. And then, you know, at a time we would say, oh, we may be like this or this, but really give it space, really nurture that.
What's
and
coming
surrender.
from the song is this entity, this alive, this baby, this like, parents, can you let me go? And you know, I'm gonna give you some ideas, but let's work together. That it is like the spirit. Your song has this spirit, and then if we overanalyze it, the words or the clarity of the verses won't be able to come forth.
Exactly.
It's so beautiful. It's like not overdoing it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's also teaching us a metaphor for how we can live our lives, where
I
we
believe
think
so.
we're supposed to sit down and write a song, you know? And
Yes, that's That's great. I did want to share a little bit on that because exactly practically all the songs we've done so far, and it's a handful, you know, and we're a fairly new project, and there's so much more to come.
Mhm.
But they've flowed. They've just flowed effortlessly. Like
It's
another
when we-
another one
yeah.
that we can share about later, that we can share about, is our first single earlier in 2020. It came out in May, Ho'oponopono. Also, we didn't sit down in that moment or like, we're gonna write a song now. All the songs have come through when we, like, effortlessly, when we're just living life, doing other stuff, and just really connected and in our hearts, and it's
Mhm.
and boom, and it just kind of just flowed. And
and then we work on them, of course, after.
Yeah, of
Then we're like,
course.
there was a magical moment here. There was something there. I want to go back and look at it and see what is it telling me. And of course, then we go back and we work, and we go to the lab where I take the guitar and I say, could this sound great? And so.
And it's
like a parent, you raise your kids. You can't be on top of them all the time. You have to give them space. It's interesting.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And we can have our intentions, of course. I don't want to forget to say that. It doesn't mean like with Ho'oponopono, for instance, I've had for quite some time now, like a few years, maybe even, I've had the intention of writing a song for that prayer, or inspired by that.
Mhm.
And that was it. But I didn't have any ideas or anything. And then one day we're just laying in the bed talking, just fully in our hearts connected, just open sharing, and this and that. And then there was a little moment of silence, and we were just in silence or whatever. And I was literally holding Sissel, and just really, but really, really deep inside of myself, and in this what feels to me, at least, like the agape love, where it was like, it was the love for other, the love for self, and the love for all that is. And in that space, the chorus, I just literally just started singing the entire hook. And of course the lyrics, those already existed for the chorus, because it's part of the prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. But I started singing, it just started flowing on. That's all I had. And right away, Sissel went to the keyboard, and she started playing playing with it, and like almost instantly the verse melody started coming through. And then after that, it was just kind of again listening and staying open, so that the lyrics would come through for the rest of the song. And that's what happened. And it's just that flow.
Prayer, I just want to mention to everybody, the links to their songs are below this video. So definitely, please, everyone, and I'm gonna have it play the next video automatically on my YouTube channel, the Ho'oponopono prayer, because that song has literally caused many, many, many of my clients. I play this while I'm working with my clients, and I can't tell you how many people have begun to cry when you say something about, I hated myself. I used to think, I forgot, I don't know if
I'd look into the mirror and I hated the person I saw.
Yeah. We all know that.
Yeah, I believe, we all know that to some degree or other.
Yeah.
Whether we have to do it all by ourselves, the pain inside. Something, it really touches many, many truths that I think a lot of us, we act like we're okay, but inside we're just torn. And
yes,
that's why I feel that song, it's a great healing tool for anybody that is with their heart closed, or if you want to reach more yourself, or if you're attracting unavailable men, which is what I love. For me, this song is about making you available, because there's so much pure love that is just radiating out of your voices, out of your intention. You can feel it's medicine. Your music is medicine. And there's a difference between an artist that is driven by their ego and they're performing, and and your music to me is an ayahuasca journey. It is a journey. It's a journey from the beginning of the song to the end of the song. I have to say, I've probably heard it hundreds of times, and then clients are like, "Can you play that again? Can you play that again?" Because it goes deeper. You can put it on replay, and it'll just keep going deeper. I've cried in the shower listening to it, because every moment there's something else that comes up that I really feel right now in the world, especially healing music is so beneficial for us. So thank you so much for creating that Ho'oponopono prayer. And the beginning of that song, those lyrics just really touch so deeply so many truths that a lot of us are going through. And so who we are, can you talk a little bit about the chorus and a little bit about the meaning of that?
I mean, do you want me to share a little bit? Or you want to share first?
No, it's not about one. If something's coming through, I always have something to say. Or I'll find something to share.
No, I think that what I've learned, even like writing this song, because I feel it's my like teachers, the songs we channel is even our teachers. I mean, that's what I feel at least. It's sure. Like it's amazing, and it's like you're living through this, and you're living through the message even yourself. And for me, this whole thing about understanding this love that's behind, like I think, as you say, there's so many things we don't talk about, like the suffering or my feelings, you know, the pain, or I feel like I'm not good enough, or I'm not enough this, or I'm not attractive enough, or I don't look this, or there's so much stories that we all, I'm sure, we have on and off, and we work, of course, our way to how to deal with this. But then it's so beautiful, this like this message, this wisdom that I've stepped more into and learned, and also inspired by you and some of the teachings. What's behind that stopping, you know, stopping and like, I'm not this feeling, I'm not this suffering, I don't have to be this. And it's also a choice. I can choose, like, do I want to be this, like, or am I this really? And just stop. And I love that. And I've been doing this a lot lately because of the song, I think, and the teachings that we've shared together.
You're saying that you're not your suffering, you're not that story, you're not the core being of you, love.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, exactly, because it wasn't just the political story that's going on. It was really all of it. Yeah, it says like you said, it says we are not the stories we hide inside, and it's kind of like a double metaphor there, where it's not the stories that we hide inside of out in the outer world that we live out, but it's not the stories that we hide deep inside of ourselves, inside of our minds either. You know, so it's like both inner and outer. Was at least the intention of it. And
what is this love? Because love, we also have to talk about what is love? What is the definition of love? Because I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Because that's like, it's a word. It's just a word. And can we even describe it?
How do you, because I've met thousands of people in my lifetime, you know what I mean? Like I've worked with amazing teachers out there, and I know quality, you know what I'm saying? And I have to say, I mean, you both could just write a book about love. It's just as simple as that.
Thank you.
You both are very courageous and you're very brave, and not everybody knows your whole story, but even just from how you both met and for this music to be birthed, that you both felt a calling. If there's anything you want to share about that, like how do you know that you're coming from your heart, where so many people are confused with the ego heart and the soul heart, you know, the difference? How do you both tune into the true heart, the true one heart, the love, the divine love?
The question of the ages and the sages and the rages.
Yeah, it's
well, I have something. I just to be, I challenged myself for, especially the last couple of years, in vulnerability, because I used to be very closed, and I still have that aspect that I can totally like hibernate, or like what's the thing, especially that men do, you know, like isolate and right, and be and I've come a long way with that, with really sharing what's going on in here. And anyhow, when, to not get too into the details of when we met, but the gist of it is, when we first met, it wasn't like, oh, we're in love, and in the relative sense too, like a couple, like a possible relationship, whatever.
Yes. No.
She was on her journey, and I don't know if you want to share or not, but
I mean, I was married.
Okay, there. If you want to share that here, she was in a marriage of many years, right? 10 or 11 years, that was kind of reaching its end, if you will, and and we connected through the music.
As
And
friends.
yeah, as friends. And it was the first time for both of us, definitely for myself,
Yeah.
more than ever, that I was fully, connecting with this beautiful woman. And just like, we're just getting together to explore writing, creating music. And there's definitely a connection here. There's something, but I will be 100% honest. It didn't take too long for me to start feeling more than that. And then here's where, and I don't know, let's see how it flows, but here's that fine line, if you will, or that, which I don't want to tiptoe so much around, because we tiptoe so much around so much shit as it is already. And I feel it should be expressed, at least as best as it can through me. Yes, there is that relative attraction, that physical attraction, that animal instinct, the idea, the feelings, the chemicals flowing through our body, that I'm falling in love and I'm attracted to this person. But in full awareness, and when you really, really go deep with this, you can see, like what we're talking about, and what the song's pointing out, it's not a song just about my love for her and whatever, in this physical realm or whatever, which is totally present and totally okay and totally part of it. It's not to diminish it either. I mean, it was totally like the initial spark and the attraction, to bring us together. But with that awareness, the whole time, that was present for me, and I know for her too, because we talked about it, and the whole time we voiced it. How, like what we were saying earlier, how we remind each other even every day of the self-love and of the and of
your reflections of each other.
Yeah,
very much.
Loving beings that, of course, you gravitated. This is something I love this word. What am I gravitating towards? And you gravitated, and maybe life circumstances were telling you, like the rational mind might be like, but I'm married. But then you honored the heart, the wisdom of your heart. And that's something that I admire both of you, because I know for me, a lot of people that are married unhappily, but they're hiding it. And I dragged my relationship a little too many years, where I knew something was off, but I was so scared of the unknown. And so I say you're both very brave and courageous, because you kept honoring the feeling. And I would love if you can share how singing together, what was that like, and because I
it didn't take long. It didn't take long to start falling in love singing together.
I mean, I will say also, you say that thing, it is scary. It's super scary when you go out of your comfort zone. It's really uncomfortable. And I think what's important is to just take like really mini steps, like, okay. And I felt that was, I did like, oh my God, this is so scary, but like a little mini step. And I was like, okay, I'm breathing here. I'm still here. Okay, another little mini step. And and that's what really helped me to get out of that comfort zone and daring to do something that seemed like, in my rational mind, like, like I can't do this,
You had a couple of those.
Yeah.
You had at least a good few.
And being a whole new country, I'm from Denmark, I'm not from here. How am I going to figure, all the stuff, all the details, all the technical, the practical stuff. How am I going to figure this out? Like, and it was a huge surrendering. And I know I think you work with that a lot also, like surrender. And that's something I've learned.
Me too. I'd love for you to talk on this too, because the two of you together, singers, songwriters, baby song makers, this is like so amazing. And beyond, poetry. I mean, that is a dream life. People watching hopefully are like me, like, I mean, how does it get any better than that, right? And how so many of us settle. It's like, it's almost like there's been something happening globally where we've stopped dreaming. And that's why I love both of you to share this magic with us. Show it, like you're showing us it's possible, folks. And we don't have to plan it so much. Who you're being, you're just being your artist's beautifully expressed beingness, and you magnetized, and the universe just supported that. And so how do you practice surrendering? Do you have any tips for people that want to live from the heart?
Yeah. Well, I am gonna start that off with reminding all of us that it's not all butterflies and rainbows. It is a choice. Every single thing is a choice, and honoring that deep, whether it's acting out from our thoughts, from our beliefs, from our fears, from our traumas, or acting out from that deeper inner knowingness and that deeper love and truth that's whispering to us at every second of every moment of every day and throughout our entire lives. I feel we just have to listen. We just have to get quiet enough and listen. But it is a choice to honor that and to honor what we say to ourselves that we really want. Because again, I mean, I know and this is something that's actually fascinating for us. We're in a relationship. We are a romantic, couple, and we also work together. So we're together like all the time. And I know for many people and men and many men that can be, and women too. I don't want to, say it's not, but very challenging. And so it is a choice. And these are the conversations that we have. We have this all the time because we feel that, yes, we have this beautiful gift that's also a huge love for each of us individually in our lives, which is music, our gift. And singing. What do we do with this? Singing, and what we want to share. And we're both very clear and on the same page that we don't want to, nothing wrong with it again, but we don't want to just do bubblegum, music. But we want to share meaningful truths and messages and deeper, the same thing that we're about and that we're choosing every day to live into as best as we can. Our highest selves. And so it's communication, it's choice, and it's communication. And I feel that is the foundation of all of it. It's the foundation of our relationship, our intimate relationship, and it's the foundation of our professional relationship, if you will.
And
being really honest.
Sorry?
It seems like your message too, at least from what I've been listening, is to keep honoring what's alive authentically for you, and then also giving space. There's this spaciousness about you both, not about forcing and pushing. So you're both so powerful. I would love it if people want to comment down below after you hear their music, because both of these, they're powerful singers, but they're not intimidating. They're not bullies, and there's been this confusion with power. And so I feel you're both also bringing this feminine, masculine, balanced, energetic power that I really believe is what we are. Just many of us don't know how to live in that dance. Oneness.
And I think it's also what I've learned a lot, because you had more, I would say, like experience and had been diving deeper into really speaking your truth. And that was something that I really, that was the chapter I really was stepping into. And I knew it for a long time. But that fear of, if in a relationship or in a cooperation, in a like, he's not gonna like what I say, or the anger or whatever it's gonna come up, but really still honor, this is my truth, even though it's not maybe it's not what you want to hear, or it doesn't fit in, but still find a way to say it, but really always from me. And this is like relationship stuff. I like communicate, like really, like, this is what I feel. It has nothing to do with you, but that kind of, and then also that we both give space for that truth. And that's like, I really like, I'm like so grateful for you, because you give me that space.
On your sovereignty, you're both sovereign beings.
And it's growing every day.
That's great. So we have choice. We have also what I said, communication,
honoring it.
We have honoring our truth. Like speaking our truth, like really, and that's the sovereign aspect of not losing that, and surrender. I mean, these are all, if we look at any of these teachings, these are like many of the big pillars of relationship, not just an intimate partnership, but in life, and with life, all kinds of relationships, and
with ourselves.
And I want to add another one, which ties into the whole Ho'oponopono prayer. It's forgiveness. It's a huge one too, because many times, and you said it earlier, Michelle, many times, especially when we want something so bad, and a huge example of that is when we want a relationship and an intimate partnership, and we want it so bad, and we want, and we're like, and we even feel we're so ready for it, which I was feeling that when we met. I was in that space, but I wasn't I was still figuring out some stuff with myself and getting clear. And we can't force these things. So there's forgiveness, there's acceptance, you know, these are huge aspects. And that's, again, that comes back to self-love, because you know, even though we feel we're ready, let's say, for whatever it is, again, we're using this in the you know, with the example of relationships, again, but it's all really all of life is relationships, right? With and
there's a lot
and
of
and
flow. It sounds like there's
yeah,
a lot of flow that happens when you adopt these different ways of being, that both of you do you feel you are really in the flow? Because I totally see it. And
I mean, I would say on and
not
off.
struggle anymore, you know what I mean? Like how there's a lot of struggle in life, and
yeah.
then things you just surrender, and then things can come to you, things can align themselves without it being so much work.
But I think yes and no, because I'm not like about, like, it's, again, you said it's not
Both
all
hands.
butterfly and flows, because I feel that life is a contrast. In the moment we kind of accept that there is contrast, and we don't have to force that either, or try to,
Yeah, there's a surrendering. There's
It's
like a surrendering
surrender.
even to that, though.
When I
feel
feel like, oh, I don't know, and I'm like, you know, frustrated or something, just surrender. And even like, we can remind each other in a relationship, just, hey, let's go for a walk, or sleep. You know, sleep is really good when you're like, you're a little
But
too.
that's very important what you're pointing out, because that's another one. And just recently I was reminding Sissel of this too, something, again, that I've literally experienced and stepped into and explored more in the last couple of years, that I did a lot of deep healing for myself, is and we say the butterflies and rainbows thing. I think everybody gets what we're saying, that because there's, I believe, I know I have this, at least there's a part of me that wishes it was no contrast, that it was butterflies and rainbows all the time, that I was feeling like total bliss. And I believe that it's possible pretty much all the time, even in our human experience, when we're really tapped in and stay, you know, but we don't live in the cave in the Himalayas and always just, you know, and so our traumas come up, our triggers come up, our stories, our conditioning, and so we need to feel that. We need to acknowledge that. We need to embrace it, allow it to have its place.
I'm not pushing it
allow
away.
it to be seen. Yeah. So if I'm feeling low energy, depressed, sad, I'll lay in bed and sit with that and just feel it. And if tears need to flow, they'll flow. Yeah. If sometimes I'll listen to a song that helps even bring it more. That's like medicine, right? It helps
tears
induce the flow of the tears more. And yeah, so and in this experience of allowing and encompassing it all, which is surrender, though I still agree, even when we're feeling the resistance, don't have resistance to feeling resistance, because even that is a resistance. That is love it. It's like literally, yeah. And I know it's easier said than done many times. I'll raise my hand first, and you know, like,
and that's what I'm saying. I guess it's a part of the flow, right? I think it's like, it's a flow like that, and it's a surrendering, and it's a beautiful flow.
Embrace your resistance. You are flowing, and it's okay. It's okay. So many of us are protecting ourselves. So many of us, and so to honor that little child inside that is scared. Yeah. That's something that this helps me a lot to do this. My friend taught me this. Hey, yes. And I say it's okay. It's okay.
That's beautiful. One that I've done for some years now, and then I've discovered that she does also on her own, is kissing yourself. Like, I'll literally, sometimes I'm even working out, I'm doing my exercise, like my insanity workout, and I'm like running around, and when I'm doing one of the stretches, I'm like, you know, just kiss myself, because why not? We want to kiss our beloved. We want to kiss, you know, our lovers, our people we love, or hug, or connect and touch. And it's like, we're right here. We're in a body. We're in a freaking body, just like the other bodies that are around us that we want to connect with. And I think it's equally important.
There was one
things from the inside out. You know, you were both able to love each other because you both came into it so aware that you are loved. People that, you know, we get to see, because most couples, I feel, are coming from that ego led, and so you're both heart led, and just super grateful to have you both today. And the song "Who We Are," I'm just gonna put it right after this, and people can just listen to
Yeah.
it, download it, put it on your phone, and enjoy the message, enjoy the magic. Your music is so healing. I'm so grateful for you honoring
Thank
and creating Lumizone. And do you want to
Mhm.
share with anyone what else next? Talk about your services also, because I know you're both vocal coaches, also not just singer songwriters, amazing, Lumizone artists.
Mm.
Yeah, we're offering online right now with mainly via Zoom uh, vocal coaching sessions, and just to interject that, I mean, we're both deep divers, so I mean, we can teach just the technical and
Yeah.
singing and music theory and stuff, but there's the opportunity with us because it's who we are, like the song, the, that it's kind of like almost like a vocal, we call it vocal life coaching, because there's we allow the space and the opportunity to and we go there with these different aspects. And just to give a quick example, like many times the throat chakra is so important to have it open, again, about speaking our truth, about sharing our light and our power, and being in our power, sharing with the world. And so many people are so stuck there.
Yes, so people
Yeah, you don't have a problem at all. So many people are stuck there. So it's something that we go into from that kind of, let's say, metaphysical perspective also,
Yeah.
and psychological and spiritual,
Mhm.
components with it, that it's not just a technicality.
Yeah, and it's not just only for singers, it's for anybody, because
Yes.
the voice is like really a key to opening up. It's like a magical healing tool. It's there available all the time since we were born. And I think that's so important, that for people to know, wow, like the power you have in here, power of healing, power of so much like work. Like you can go so deep, and really find yourself and find your voice.
your soul voice.
Express the feelings, express the pain, express the happiness, express the power. And for females also, I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
us, like the whole patriarchy talk about that we've been suppressed, like standing up in our power, like really expressing it, and that there's some powerful tools we can use as with our voice.
Yeah, and anyone can book a free 30-minute consultation with us right on our homepage, on our website.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll
So
post
like,
links down below.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So-
And I just want to give a shout out for couples. This, I would imagine, is an amazing helping for couples to harmonize. That must be amazing. To have both interacting. I don't know if you've done that, but I would imagine
Yeah.
it'd be amazing.
Well, we definitely have, and yeah, we've been cooking up some stuff for our workshop that we eventually want to make available online and live, eventually
Hopefully,
as well. Hopefully, it's
more live.
and yeah, there's some exercises and some stuff that's for connection and for also tying both things, like you're saying, tying in the connection between the two,
Mhm.
and the voice connecting and harmonizing, and so
We are
Speaking
vibration.
too, I feel you both are amazing. So for people, even people going through a breakup, people going through a crisis, this is so healing for the heart, the work that they both share. And I'm just super grateful for you. Thank you so much for your music. Thank you for your time.
yeah,
And
likewise.
so grateful that I met you both in my life.
Yeah.
And you're such an inspiration to all of us. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
we appreciate you.
Likewise, we are
so
mirrors,
much.
like you said
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you
us.
for everything. And
Any closing comments before we close this awesome vibing?
I'm just
Who we are, who we are, who we are, who we really are is who we are. The little harmony. Who we are, who we are, who we are, who we really are is love. Who we no?
I don't know where you put it.
Okay, it's all right. It's all love.
You put it a little.
It's
up.
all love.
I just think one thing you said that I think is very important, and I would love to hear what you do and what you do and what I tell, like how to listen, because you asked us like in one moment, like how do you listen to
What
that
I
voice?
do, I created the ABBA method of empowered healing, empowerment, I call it, because of my physical therapy background. I literally created a body-based way of accessing your vibrational soul essence. And so I teach my students to bring out the left arm or stretch out the left arm because it stretches the fascia on the left side, which our
Mhm.
heart is
Heart, yeah.
to the left. And then to just
Mhm.
close our eyes. And there's a way that I do this with a pillow behind because it really opens the actual heart fascia, so the actual organ of the heart. And so some people right away will notice, wow, my heart is really tense because it's so expanded and open and it's obvious. And so I teach, for me personally, I'm touching my heart and my boobie like most of the time, and then I'll just breathe and I'll expand. I can't do this like while I'm driving, but maybe like if I'm, let's just say I'm in an elevator or I'm standing in line at Target and I'm feeling something, I will just, and I'll say to myself, what's this offering me? What's coming up for me? I'll stop and I'll pause because I call them emotional farts. And it's just gas that's passing from the past, you know, something from the past, which I had a lot of sadness in my life. So much sadness from my dad leaving when I was young that I had repressed in my heart. And I was an angry woman. And so there's been a lot of this intimacy with myself, and then a lot of breathing and expanding, but then I hold it. I hold that expanded, and then I exhale. So there's this whole breathing, E3 breath, I call it. So for me, it's throughout the day, just if anything comes up or my stomach, or I definitely make it a priority to feel and flow and not suppress myself, because now I'm feeling, I'm no longer frozen. I feel like I was disconnected. So feeling is a big part of my life now.
And singing too.
Yes.
We both know that you love singing also.
Yes.
You're
You
so,
have no,
you know,
you don't hold
I have
back.
to
That's
say, I
great.
sing with you guys probably every day. And when I see clients, Ho'oponopono is a staple song that I play, like the song Let It Go by James Bay. When people get undressed, I have them listen to Let It Go by James Bay. And then Ho'oponopono is usually one of the beginning songs, like when we're getting prepped. And it's amazing how it'll just cause people to have a release. And that's something else I feel, if each one of us just was in charge of our own territory and we allow our own hearts to be heard, how we, being in a room, are causing people to do the same. And
Yeah.
Yes.
so important
Vibration.
to value ourselves so much that we make the time to feel, pause. Like I just took a nap at the beach before this. And then before I would never do that. I would be like, I gotta clean my room, you know? And so I think now that heart spaciousness that I have, or heart connection, heart awareness, gives me a motivation to make more time to commune. And then I'll wake up in the morning and create something, and more things will just be birthed through me rather than me thinking it, I have to do it. So there's this different way of relating that is now so much about me feeling my heart and honoring it.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
That's the short
I was
version.
I was thinking, yeah, I loved it. I mean, you know, we always hear what has to come out. Also, I was actually also thinking a little bit more about like what we do to listen to that voice, because you asked us like, how do we know that this is the next step? You know, that little voice, that intuition thing, and that was just because you asked that of us, and I think that's something that's so important.
How do you know when it's coming from your heart? Like for you,
yeah, and not from the head heart or whatever.
It's yeah. Well, that's what I was saying earlier. It's really, I mean, it may work different for each of us. So I don't want to say it's a one size fits all, but we hear this a lot in spiritual teachings and across different religions and everything. It's really getting quiet, being quiet in prayer, going into prayer. I mean, when you say going into prayer, it's another way of going into silence and just communing with God. And
sometimes the answer is not there right away.
Yeah. We can't force it, just like everything else. That's the surrender
and that's
part.
like annoying.
And then it might show up at the supermarket, at Target, while you're doing your heart stretch and you're feeling some frustration or something, and it's like, and then poof, and
but I also
the
feel,
spark of the
just to
epiphany,
finish up, I would say like the feeling of Do I feel resistance? Like really, like do I want this? You know, you can kind of really tune into, do I feel this? Do I really, is the energy flowing? And sometimes we feel like I have to do this, or like if you're like you have an appointment with somebody or this person, or maybe you don't feel, I don't actually feel it right now.
For me, I say, is this true for me?
Yeah, is this true? Yeah, love
And
that.
I don't cheat on myself like I used to. I would do a lot
Exactly.
for obligation or because I had to
Mhm.
get love from other people. And
Yeah.
now, because I am love, I'm no
Mhm.
longer, my actions are from this place of sovereignty where it's really taking care of me, but I'm
Yes.
not being selfish. Because before I thought that was being selfish. Now I'm saying
Yes.
soulful.
It's totally okay to say
Hey,
no to something.
I get
Yeah.
to be nice to myself.
Yes. That, and I love that, and that's been one of my personal big teachings. So that's why I wanted to share that for your audience, because it's something I've always like. But how do I know? How do I know? I don't
But
know.
there is something I want to add to that though, because at least in my experience, a lot of times we can feel fear, let's say, around a decision, even if it is the right decision for us. Sometimes, especially if it's the right decision for us. So we can't say, I'm gonna use that butterfly and rainbows thing again. It's not always necessarily the choice or the decision that feels like it's gonna be more butterflies and rainbows. That's great. And if you're clear, 1,000% clear that that path feels that good, and you're then go for it. Because remember, I just want to remind us, there is no right or wrong here. Ultimately, there's only growth, there's only learning. And so many times we'll not do something out of fear and go this way because it feels like it might be better, but that wasn't the path of ultimate growth. And somehow life will teach us anyways and show us and bring us back around and put us in that other path anyways. So I mean, I just want to point it out again. It's not that we have the answers for each other. We can only share our experience, you know, and as best as possible, and hopefully something clicks for you know.
It's a feeling path, though. I think what we're talking about a lot more, rather than analyzing
Yes.
mind.
Yeah.
Definitely. I say sometimes my daughter's like, "Mommy, you're up in the clouds," because I'm like, "Okay, wait, let me feel it out, Mia." Okay, you know, I'll be like, "Okay, I want to." Hold on, let me feel about it. You know, I'll literally say things that she's like, "Oh my God, okay." But the thing is, then the wisdom comes, but we have to ask. So I do ask. It could be even at Nordstrom, like, okay, I only have an hour and I got to get this dress for this wedding, you know, that I only have an hour. And so where do I go? Right or left?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And that's a good place to practice. Actually, if you want to start practicing getting in touch with this, like with small things, like what do I want to eat right now? Really tap into, do I really want to eat this?
Or do I need to eat so much?
Yeah, or like, I think it's a good small practice we can do all the time and getting better at the bigger.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And listening to your music brings you there immediately because I can feel the pause in your music, the space. You're not just playing music and sound, but you're playing silence too. There's pause. And I love that. You guys are amazing. I gotta go because I gotta go listen to that song again.
Yeah, we know. All right.
Thanks for having us. Have a beautiful.
So happy.
I love you both so much.
Day.
Just, I can only say, keep on sharing, keep on putting that music out.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it. All of us, like I'm speaking for all my clients, everybody that comes in, my brothers, you know, my family who I share the music. It's so exciting. And I know you both are just beginning and there's so much more. And it's just so exciting.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks for having
we
us.
just appreciate you and love you and all the work you do.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Yes, you
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.